Mr. Lawyer, according to your complaint, the defendant sold your 2 pet monitor lizards.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's a nice gal like you hanging around with monitor lizards for?
I do a magic show. I'm a female illusionist, and I have 2 African savanna monitors I trained, and they were part of my co-star as well as part of my family. I have a videotape here. Can I bring this to you to show when they were more of a babies I used in the show? And these are also pictures of my magic show as well, my promotion. That's
Okay, well, I would like to see what a monitor lizard looks like.
Well, they're much bigger now. That's when they were babies at 3 years old. But I mean, this tape will show you how lovable they are. I mean, monitor lizards have teeth. They can bite your fingers off. And these ones I swam with, took naps with, drug them around on my show, and showed them to everybody. And they're very,
Why in the world would you want to take a nap with a monitor lizard? Whew. I got to see more than the lizard here, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, to return that. Let me see this. What these things look like in action.
There he is. He has a bow tie like mine. See, so you can see they're lovable.
All right. Now I know what a lizard looks like, and I know what that is. Let's go. So you brought them to the defendant to board your lizards because you were moving to California. When did you give them to him to board?
In January.
In January?
Yes.
January of '96. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you were supposed to come and pick them up when?
At this time, at the end of February.
All right. What financial arrangements did you make with him?
Okay, at this time, it was $30 a month boarding fee.
For each one or for both?
For both of them.
Yeah.
And I gave them a couple of lizards in advance, a couple baby lizards for taking care of them as well. So at this, I dropped them all off and their cage, and he seemed sincere at the time. If I didn't seem like I could trust him, I wouldn't have left my pets there. But he understood I wanted my own cage there. That was just going to be for a time being.
So you left them the lizards in January, and according to your complaint, you did not come back for them in February.
In March, I sent him a check, which he denied getting, but later on he did admit that he did get. And then...
In March, you sent him a check for how much?
$30.
And you had paid him for January and February in advance?
In March. Now it's, January, February in advance, and now
okay.
we're paid through to March.
Okay, so but you didn't come back for the lizards in March.
Then this is where it changes, and this is where this is a verbal agreement. This is a verbal from now, because I have the receipt for the other part. Then they laid 8 eggs. My babies had 8 eggs. So Tim had said that he wanted to raise them. He wanted to hatch the eggs, and he would, don't worry, quote unquote, we'll work out a deal. So this time.
And you had this conversation with him directly?
Over the phone. I was under the assumption that I had credit, because he said, don't worry, we'll work out a deal. Okay, so later on, when I went and I checked, I only went in a couple times. I never heard from him. I left him an 800 number to call me, so he didn't even have to pay for the phone call if anything at all was going on with the lizards. Never heard from Tim. Then I had my friend going down to Tucson, and that's where Jim comes in. Would you please tell him what happened?
What's your name, sir?
My name is Jim Keeler. I'm from Phoenix.
Yes, Mr.
I'm a good friend of Tracy's. I mentioned to her that, hey, I'm going to go down to Tucson tomorrow. And she said, hey, while you're down there, would you go by the pet store and check up on my lizards?
When was this, sir?
Gosh, let's say, I can't recall the date. I'd say maybe...
Let's have the month.
September, the beginning of September.
September of '96.
96.
So, go ahead.
I went down there. I had a friend that came with me, and we walked around the store, acting like we were just customers. And we went around, and a gentleman approached me, and we started asking questions about other things in there. And next thing you know, I popped the question about, hey, do you happen to have a couple breeding pair of Savannah monitor lizards? And the guy replied, well, we did. And I said, because I was looking to buy them. You know, I'm just kind of like acting dumb. And the guy went ahead and said, we already sold them. It's too late. And I asked him, well, how much did you get for the lizards? He goes, we got $1,500.